Thank you everybody for joining. I have seen quite a few. Hi Scott, lovely to see you. If you are watching, please go ahead and pop a comment into the description box below. And let me know how you are. And that is Skew, and I'm not happy with it. Just bear with me a second. You have to excuse all the rubbish on my desk next to me. I just haven't gotten around to sorting stuff out yet before my studies start. And that one, sorry guys, just the other one, my other computer's not behaving. Bear with me. I can see your comment, Scott. Let me just get out of this and go back in again. The one on my laptop's working. Okay, so I just want to say if we drop out, I do apologize. I am on mobile data on my phone, so it may not be as good as it should be. So I do apologize if that happens, but give us a like. Have a chat in the comments. And I know that Elle did actually send me a message earlier on about possibly being a moderator. So because I released a video, not yesterday, the day before, about flag shaggers, and I've had so many nasty comments on there. I'm pretty sure it's nothing compared to what Supertansky gets, and I really do feel her pain. Although, to be honest, I laugh at most of the comments. My father was incredibly forthright in his ragging of me as I was growing up. So, and I had a friend who was the same. So, to be fair, for me, it doesn't really bother me. What does bother me is their idiocy and stupidity. So, here is Little Spike saying hello. Hi, Billy. Lovely to see you. Thanks for joining, Little Spike. Hello, people. Hope you're all okay. Sorry, I'm completely bonkers. So today I went for a run. I did 10Ks. Absolutely killed me today. I was doing hills and distance, so I wasn't looking at my timing. And I was just focusing on the distance that I needed to do and hills, because my race is not this weekend coming, but the weekend after. And so, yeah, this one hill that I ran up, it's a hill that I used to run up years ago when I was seriously running, and my times were a lot better and I was a lot younger. And it was a hill that I used to go down on my bike as well when I was doing mountain biking. Fantastic hill to go down. Brilliant hill to go down. But I've actually closed it off at the top of the hill now, so it's all overgrown with brambles and stuff. So but I ran through it and the brambles were attacking me, so I've got scratches all over my legs. But that was a hectic climb, really was. And I can't remember my stats now, but I did quite a bit of climbing. I think I put a post up actually. I'm dealing with phone, computer, and all sorts here, so just bear with me as I try and find my post. Sorry guys, my channel, posts, let's have a look. Yeah, so my elevation gain was 93 meters. That's a lot higher than my normal elevation gain. So I did a lot of hill training. It was hell on my legs, but I did it. And like I say, I've got this race in a couple of weeks. I don't intend to win. It's not going to happen, you know. I just want to finish. It's a challenge for myself. We get a medal when we finish, so I'm really looking forward to that. So yes, hey up Little Spike. Yes, Billy, there we go, Little Spike. So in a little while, we are going to have fun with flags. I had to make this sign. Do you know how difficult it is to write backwards? Really, really difficult to write backwards. So as I say, I had this put this video up a couple of days ago, and it was about the flag shaggers and the hypocrisy that they have. And I'm so happy that Phil Morehouse from A Different Bias actually put up a post this afternoon with a news article which I'd been trying to find. So thank you, Phil, about the rioters and the potential that they have themselves for DV. I'm going to talk about that in a little while. So what I wanted to do was, I've told you about my run, and the race that I've got coming up. And guys, I don't know if I'm going to get any nasty comments coming up from the people that commented on my video that I put up 2 days ago. So I might have to delete some comments if they come up. I do want people with differing views and opinions to actually come on here and have conversation, but I won't tolerate various other things. So, hi, blah, blah, lovely to see you. What happened to what? Sorry, I'm lost now. What happened to what? Was it the video that I put out 2 days ago and the nasty comments? I'm glad you're there, blah, blah, thank you. I need to, and I will get that email address sorted out this week. So I do apologise for not having done it. I decided to take a couple of weeks off. I had so much going on. Yeah, blah, I posted a video 2 days ago, flag shaggers and the hypocrisy of protecting women and girls. And it relates to the fact that a lot of the people who are protesting are actually people who are, or men that have got previous for DV, SA, SV and GRAPE. So I'm going to talk about that in a little while. Hi Pete, lovely to see you. What have we here? We're going to have in a little while, just so you know, I made this sign, fun with flags. That's coming up. Oh, blah, not a problem. Not a problem. You come back in 5. Watch me on catch up and that'll go like, I'm sure I'll have a very, yeah, squeaky voice. Yes, Billy, the overrepresented 40%. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about, because I did a video about it and I got so much flack from so many men, one woman, but mostly men. And I'm going to read through some of those comments because I think that some of them are valid, some of them are just pure nasty. But what I found is that, and this is something that I've found in many videos that I've done about SA, SV, DV and GRAPE, where men are presented with the figures. Now, I just want to say here, not all men, okay? Because I know a lot of you guys who watch are not like that and are very well aware of what women go through with regards to, sorry, I've just seen that message come up, no expense spared with the signage. You know, I couldn't find my black marker pen, Pete, so I've got a whole thing full of marker pens here and none of them are working. I need to buy more. So I've got these 3, like, are they Sharpies? I don't know what brand they are. Stedler, and they're metallic markers, so I had to use one of those. So yeah, I need to get myself some black marker pens. Yeah, it was just a thing, a spur of the moment thing that I thought, oh, fun with flags, write it backwards. How the heck do I do that? It was quite a challenge. That was my second attempt. The only reason that I did it twice was because I actually ended up with not enough space for width after the fun. So I had to do it twice. I knew you meant signage, Pete, don't worry. I knew that's what you meant. So yeah, I had quite a lot of nasty comments around that, and I'm going to talk about that in a little while. And as I say, Phil Morehouse of A Different Bias put up a fantastic article, which I had been looking for. I'd been searching for the thing for a couple of days and I couldn't find it. So he put that up, which I'm going to read through with you. I don't know if any of you will have read it from Phil's posts earlier on today. So what I thought we could start with is weekly horoscopes, just for a little bit of nonsense. Some of you may believe it, some of you may not believe it. So I'm going to start with Aries, which is the first house. That's what they're called, houses. So Aries weekly horoscope. Aries this week balances responsibilities, growth, and inner renewal. Oh, this goes on for the whole blooming week. Okay. It's loads of different days. I'm not reading out every single day. If you are an Aries, let me know and I'll read it out for you. Let me know what your star sign is if you want me to read it out for you, and I will pop it onto the comments. I'm going to read mine out, which is Taurus. So I'm really not very good at this stuff, am I? Hang on, maybe this one's better. No, I do not consent. Okay. Weekly horoscope. Let's have a look. Taurus. Oh, good. This is a little bit shorter. You'll be on fire mentally and have extra energy to tackle heavy-duty meetings, research and conversations with colleagues and friends when the week begins. Midweek, you could feel the weight of doing your best to strike a balance between your needs and those of your significant other or a loved one. That will be the cats. Reflecting on related lessons you can best learn right now can serve your bond well as you move forward. Later, you could be inspired to plan for travel or higher education down the road. My uni next module starts in a few weeks, so definitely planning for higher education. You can trust your gut to lead the way, and if you're worried you're being overly optimistic, know that unrelenting positivity is something beneficial to embrace now as well. So that's not bad. Pete, Virgo. Let's have a look at Virgo, another earth sign. Where's Virgo? There we go. Let's have a look. If you've been wanting to pitch a creative project that you hope will lead to financial rewards, consider sharing it with higher ups and anyone else of influence in the early part of the week. You'll have a certain knack for making a charming impression, being in the moment, and putting your artistic impulses to work for your cash flow. Later, you could feel swamped with to-dos. Take a deep breath and begin tackling what you can. It will have you feeling more centered and capable of taking a step back in order to take care of yourself. And Pete, you need to take care of yourself. You know this. You know that that is important in your life. So self-care for you, I think, is more important than anything else. And I think you know that already. Hi, Blah, you're back. Blah, if you want to pop down your star sign and I'll read out the star sign for the week for you. Billy, you are Capricorn, another earth sign. Lots of earth signs here. And Lana is Libra, which is an air sign, but ruled by Venus as well. Don't ask me how I know this stuff, guys. I just do. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. There we go. Capricorn for Billy. A key project could be coming to its organic culmination as the week begins. You could realize just how fulfilled you can be by certain types of collaboration and want to pursue even more communal experiences, perhaps by taking a course or doing volunteer work for a local organization. Midweek, the cosmos is urging you to cozy up to those you love through sweet words. You'll be sure to make an impression now. Later, your daydreams of adventures to enjoy down the road are amplified. Capricorn's very good at having mental adventures. So, yeah, maybe it's time to put some of that into action. Lana is Libra. So let us have a look. Where is the scales? Ruled by Venus. Letting your mind wander and being able to embrace your daydreams is crucial to making the most of the moment in the beginning of the week. You might be thinking of new ways to increase your skill set by taking an online course or plotting future travel with loved ones. You'll feel like you're at your most playful and light-hearted now. Later, you could have a productive, game-changing conversation with a loved one. One thing I've noticed through all of these star signs that I'm reading, or sun signs as they are, is that a lot of dreaming going on, which I've had some very, very, very bizarre dreams lately. Hi, Elle, lovely to see you. Thanks for joining. If you want to tell me your star sign, I can read out your star sign for the week ahead if you would like. You don't have to, it's not compulsory. But yeah, I've been having some very weird dreams. The other night, not last night, the night before, I dreamt that there was this staircase that went all the way down to hell. Not that I believe in hell, but the underworld, let's say. And there were these black figure creatures coming up. They were taller than human beings, but they had these black capes on. And my cats were terrified. So I managed to find this cupboard on the side of the stairs that they were coming up and opened it and shoved them all in there. They weren't happy. They weren't happy about it. But when I closed the door and these monsters started coming up the stairs, they were okay with it. Yeah. That's my life. Always trying to save the world. Yeah, I was trying to save the world from these monsters coming up from underground. I watch far too many horror movies. Elle, your Cancer. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Cancer. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Here we go. Same star sign as my mum. When the week begins, you could feel frustrated if it seems like you've been sticking to mundane chores while putting joy and playfulness on the back burner for too long. Giving yourself a break to relax and enjoy simple pleasures, think connecting with a loved one over a video chat or expressing yourself through your favourite art form is called for now. Later, you'll feel compelled to connect with colleagues, friends, your significant other in a deep and meaningful way. Your ability to engage others and influence them is elevated. So if you've been wanting to make a play for more responsibility, go after a new career opportunity or initiate a collaboration. This is a prime time to move the ball forward. So that's very auspicious for you. And I just want to remind everybody, you know, not all of us have a significant other in our life, but you are your significant other. Remember that. And validate, hi, your Cancer as well. So there you go. Blah, blah, hell's real. I saw a show about it on Amazon. There was singing and dancing, all that good stuff. It was very LGBTQIA inclusive. Do you know, everything is LGBTQIA inclusive in my world. So some of you know that I was away at Bloodstock Heavy Metal Festival a couple of weeks ago. Absolutely brilliant. And I just want to say, because I know there's a lot of trans people in the chat, the amount of trans people that I met there was phenomenal. And there was one lady, oh my goodness, she was absolutely gorgeous. And it was the last night she was dressed as a nun, a sexy nun. And because there'd been a band on that wear non-outfits, and Bloodstock is known for people dressing up in outfits. It is just amazing, the outfits that you will see people wearing. So she was wearing this nun's outfit, and I said, "You look amazing," gave her a big hug and so on. And I didn't actually realise that she was trans until we both went to the loo, and there are these compostable toilets where I was camping, and she was camping in the same area and the same campsite. And she took the toilet next to me, and then she's saying, "My pee is stuck and I can't get the tape off." And I thought, okay, you know, conversation, but she is wild, absolutely wild. But the amount of trans women there, and they are welcomed into the heavy metal community. Every shape, size is welcomed. You know, there were quite a lot of big girls wearing fishnet stockings or tights with shorts, and just, you know, why not? So some of the outfits, there's always the dinosaurs. They have a dinosaur thing on the Sunday. People wear the dinosaur costumes, you know, as if they're riding the dinosaurs, or they wear the full dinosaur costume. Then there were two men that I saw in the green mankini, which is never a good sight to see. One of them was very drunk. But they did it. They dressed up like that. Power to them. Then there were a lot of men dressed as women from Hooters. So they had fake boobs, t-shirts, short skirts, pigtails and stuff. Then there was a bunch of Beakers, you know, the Muppet character Beaker. So they had the Beaker heads on. The one guy was dressed as, well, there were actually 3 Jesus Christs there. And it was so funny because the one guy had made a crucifix, a cross, out of beer cases, cardboard beer cases that he'd stuck together. And he was carrying that around, and he was at the front, he was in the mosh pit quite a lot. And one of the bands, I think it might have been Machine Head, on the Saturday night, the headliner on the Saturday night. And they asked, where is Jesus with the cross? And he came from the other side of the thing. He came all the way, and they had this conversation, and that is Bloodstock. It is the friendliest, most, all-encompassing festival I've ever been to. Not one person was nasty. Everybody was lovely to each other. Even those people who were incredibly drunk. There's a lot of camaraderie. When the mosh pit happens, and they also have the Wall of Death. The Wall of Death is when the audience at the front parts, and there's a big space in between, and then the band tells them, right, go, and they all come and clash together. But obviously the mosh pit, and the rule of the mosh pit is, if somebody falls down, you pick them up. And that's what happens. And of course, there were loads of people that were, crowd surfing. And the one, which was the best I saw, was a mother with her kid up there on her tummy, stood up, and the people were lifting her across. And it's just amazing that you see this heavy metal, festival is just amazing. Because a lot of people have this vision of metalheads being awful people, being hardcore and nasty, but they're not. They're really not. I struck up so many conversations with so many random people while I was there. And I got to meet my favourite band, Lord of the Lost. They were doing a signing. And I was at the signing tent. I was in the queue for an hour. But they're my favourite band. So it was like, I have to meet them. And I was chatting to this lady, and her name is Karen. And I hope at some stage she gets to watch this and contacts me, because I've been trying to find her on Facebook and I can't find her. She was absolutely lovely. We were queuing together for that hour, and then they were playing about another hour and a half later on. So when I went back to the arena, I went back to the tent and got something to eat, went back to the arena. And of course, the crowd sort of dissipates between bands. And I got to the front, and she was there right next to me. It's like, oh, wow, here we are, having this, this experience together. And Chris Harms, the lead vocalist, was running up and down the fence, the barrier, and he stopped right in front of me. And I was like, oh, my hero. Very good looking man. Married, but the band is just amazing. If you haven't heard of them, have a look for them. Lord of the Lost. They were the German band, the German entry for Eurovision, when it was in Liverpool, and they were the last band to play, and I was so upset that they came on last, but I did vote for them. Darkness and Light inclusive. Not sure what you mean there, Elle. But yeah, it's, that people, I dressed up with pink dready things and stuff for they have the Sophie Lancaster Day, which is the Thursday the first sort of day. We got there the day before, and everybody wears pink in memory of Sophie Lancaster. If anybody doesn't know who she was the little goth girl that was unalived by a group of horrible people. I think it was Scarborough Way. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so there's a stage there called the Sophie Lancaster stage. The one thing that they did do, obviously it was soon after the passing of Ozzy. So on the Sunday night, Gajira was the headliner. They're a French band, absolutely amazing band. And before they came out, they actually had an in memoriam for Ozzy, and they played Mama I'm Coming Home, which is my favourite Ozzy song. It's from my favourite Ozzy album. And they had the lyrics up and everybody sang. The entire arena sang. 20,000 people singing to Ozzy. Right, so we've done the daft stuff. Let me close that down. So, yes, as I said, I put up this video. I'm actually going to go and log onto it now. Sorry, just bear with me. I've got my feed on that side, feed on this side. Pete's half asleep. Not a problem, Pete. It's a Sunday. You're allowed. Just bear with me, guys. Let me go to the video that I had put up a couple of days ago. Okay, the heading of the video is Flag Shaggers and the Protection of Our Women and Girls. And the hypocrisy of. The gist of the video is that the protesters protesting outside the asylum hotels are saying protect our women and girls, yet we know that quite a large percentage of them are men who have already been or known for DV, SA, SV or grape. And the vast majority of men who commit those crimes commit them with their partners or people they know. That is the sort of statistics of grape. And I'm going to put all the links to Rape Crisis and so on into the description box at the end of the video. I wanted to do it before, I just didn't have time. But that is, you know, somebody said to me, oh, but that doesn't count for those that are, you know, multiple rapists. There are very, very few of them. Very, very few. Like I said, the vast majority of grapists grape their partners or somebody they know. Pete's lay on the left side. Yes, always on the left side. It's good for the stomach. Your stomach sits on the left side of the body. I know this because I used to teach yoga, but also because of my hernia, which sits on here. So laying on your left side helps with the digestion of food. Hi, Scott, you're back. Lovely to see you. I know you were there earlier on. This is a statistic for those arrested last year during the riots. It is, but I do remember James O'Brien saying a couple of weeks ago when it all kicked off that the police at Epping had already recognised some of those men as having those convictions. And I even said when I started watching it, I said to myself, there's got to be, because 1 in 4 women are raped in the UK. So at least 1 in 4 men there would possibly be a rapist. I'm saying possibly. Scott, you've been lurking, watching and listening. Thank you. So now I just want to make sure here that I say this to you. It's not all men. We know this. As women, we know this. But this one person on the comments was on about all sorts of things. And I thought, I asked him, where are your statistics for this? And he couldn't supply them. So yeah, it is. Hi, Lana, lovely to see you. Don't worry about it. Oh yes, of course, it's early there with you, isn't it? It's you're down under. I can't remember if you're Oz or New Zealand. But thank you for joining. I really do appreciate it. It's Monday morning for you, isn't it? So yeah, a lot of those men that were protesting outside of the asylum hotels were probably, more than likely, men who had previous for those type of crimes. And they are there saying protect our women and girls. But they are the biggest predators. Yes, we know that some of the asylum seekers will be predators, as is every race on the planet. But looking at the statistics and the hypocrisy of these white British males, you know, calling out to protect their women and girls, meanwhile, they are the major predators. I had somebody say to me, where were you with the grooming gangs for Rochdale and Rotherham? Well, I didn't have a channel at that time. I was married and other stuff was going on in my life, and my father was very poorly and so on. And it is something that I have been wanting to do a series on. It's just finding the time to research it, because there is so much information out there. And covering a case like that, you know, it's a huge amount of work. I mean, I've done the Andrew Tate stuff, and that's a huge amount of work. I mean, that was split into 4 videos, and I do update that every now and again. So yes, it is something that I want to cover in the future. However, we know that the vast majority of grooming gangs are run by white British men. I mean, look at Andrew Tate, you know, he's been charged with trafficking. And a lot of those grooming gangs, the ones that are run by the white British males, are mates with Tommy 10 names. So yeah. Plus as well, you know, a lot of these men that are doing this this protesting are wearing balaclavas. They're hiding themselves. You would think that if they were proud of what they were doing, they would be showing their face. I've also had comments saying, let me see if I can find it, because it was quite a... Yeah, Lana, you asked what a flag shagger is. It's a person who thinks that the flag is something that they can, you know. Oh yeah, and somebody told me I needed to be hanged. You know. Another guy, Harry Constantine 7510, said, I don't know how you appeared on my feed. It's a complete waste of time listening to you, and there is no point arguing with you because you have been completely brainwashed. Okay. The comments are not showing. Let me... Newest comments first. Okay. Junior Martin said, talk about protectors by day, predators by night. That's who these racist A's so-called protesters truly are. And it's true. It is true. A lot of them are. Hi, Joe. John, lovely to see you. Oh, dear, blah, you've parked in the middle of someone's photo shoot. Well, I hope they pay you. Lana, 5:30 a.m. in New Zealand. Thank you for getting up to watch. I do appreciate it. I really do. So I'm just trying to find this one specific comment. Oh yeah, this psycho Sven69 says they do more to protect women and children than you do with your witch larping. Apparently I'm a witch larper. Never ever take foreigners' side against your own people again. So he's telling me what to do. I'm not taking the foreigners' side. Not at all. I'm saying the hypocrisy of white British men who are protesting, saying protect our women and girls, when they are actually the ones that are harming our women and girls. Okay, and that's another one who's put about grooming gangs. I don't want to go into that now. Oh yeah, somebody said, feminist, nothing you say has any value, have a wash. I had just been for a run, to be fair. So hopefully I'll look okay for you today. What's his name? Only My Ones. Hope I look okay for you today. I had a big shower. Somebody's saying, get Farage in. I'm an idiot. Feminism is a major issue too. For whom? For men. Why? Because they don't like the fact that we have our autonomy. Oh, I've been told I'm not well, I'm insane, I need to grow up. Then Peter Sage, he's from, I think he's from Germany actually. I knew this kind of madness had been on the upswing in the Germanic countries. You'd think the Germans of all people would know better, but I didn't know it was happening on your island as well. This year sucks all over. If we don't wake up real fast, we're buggered. Yeah, absolutely. Today, when I drove to the forest and I go over a couple of little white roundabouts and they had the red St. George's cross on it. I had a giggle to myself. I thought, I understand the flag. I do. When I lived in South Africa, we had the original old flag, which was very similar to the Dutch flag. And when the new government came in, when it was one man, one vote, after Mandela was released, and they designed a new flag representing all colours of the country. It's a beautiful flag. It really is a beautiful flag. And there are 12 official languages in South Africa. Now, I'm not saying it's all easygoing. There are still, tensions between the races. And also, the black races, the Zulus and the Xhosas and the, all have these differences. They all have different, ideas. So the vast majority of people of the black nation in South Africa are Zulus, and ANC is pretty much a Zulu party. Whereas Nelson Mandela was actually a Xhosa. So, yeah. But, if they can do it, if we can have a multicultural country in South Africa after all the crap that they went through, and believe me, I was there. I lived in a town called Benoni just outside of Joburg, and one Saturday morning they bombed the Wimpy in the town centre. I wasn't there, thank goodness. But, when we look at that, we have the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in South Africa, where the people who had done crimes on either side were, sort of told what they had done and what had happened. And multiculturalism can live together. Can. It really can. I don't understand the, the animosity between people of a different culture. England, Britain is a multinational, multiracial, multi-religious country. Yes, the overarching religion is Christianity. However, I don't know if you saw Richard Tice was on with Trevor Phillips this morning, and he was saying, he goes to church, but he was on with Trevor Phillips, and I thought to myself, when was the last time you said a prayer? I'm a witch, but I do have prayers on a daily basis. I light candles and I say prayers and I ask for blessings and I send healings. We don't have a church or a building that we go to, that the world is our church, especially being out in nature. But I just think to myself, I've probably done more than he has in, going to some sort of, sorry, a pop-up's just come up on my one screen, going to a church. Pete, you're awake now, good. Soa Alba, what does SOAR stand for something? I'm not sure. I need a bit of education there. Or are you just saying soar as in soar through the sky? Flags only to support our national teams or in public buildings and monuments. More than that, people look at you funny. Yeah, Yeah, they do, John. They do. Tice, Odin's beard. That man is utterly mad. I love that Odin's beard. Odin's beard. Love it. He is utterly mad. Some of the things he was saying in this interview would, yeah. So my expensive sign that I made for today's video, Fun with Flags. I am patriotic. I remember I was looking for my tea towel, but it's in the wash. I've got a tea towel from 1977 from the Queen's Silver Jubilee. I still have it all these years later. It's a bit ragged now, but I still have it. I also have an ashtray, you know, Queen's Silver Jubilee ashtray. I'm not a royalist. Back then, when I was a child, I was. I mean, you know, I remember the street party that we had and all the bunting was up. And there's nothing wrong with being patriotic. But there's patriotic, then there's absolutely insane. There was another video that I saw of a woman, I can't remember which town it was in, but she was being interviewed. And she was one of the people that was doing this whole thing of putting up the bunting and the flags. And she said, it's not about racism. And it shouldn't be about racism, but it has been made to be about racism by people like Froggage and Tice and, you know, those people who are looking for something to argue about or, you know, do not like somebody because of the colour of their skin. Let's have a look. Blah. He prays every day that people don't wake up to his BS. Yeah, probably. Tice's tours. What a flipping joke. Free Scotland. Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I agree. If you guys want to be free of England, go for it. You know, it's your bloody country. You know. Sorry, just bear with me. That to me is the definition of patriotism, a tea towel. Yeah, it is. I've had it since I was a kid, since 1977. I wasn't even 10, I was 8, and I've had it all these years. And it is the definition of patriotism. Going and vandalising roundabouts is not patriotism. There's a guy down my street who's got a St George's flag in his garden, and that's been there since before the Lionesses went to Europe. So, you know, they put stuff up in their garden all year round. They have proper Christmas lights, proper Halloween decorations, Easter stuff, you name it, they have it. So it's like, you know, it's the only one that I've seen in the village. But when I was driving through to Clumber, I go through a few villages and there was one Union flag in distress. The other one was the right way round. I was quite surprised. And I didn't know which was the right way round until I watched Phil's show yesterday. So thank you, Phil. A lot of things to thank Phil for today. Blah, there is a difference between patriotism versus nationalism. There is. There certainly is. Validate, listening to Tyson Farage, I still cannot understand how normal people can listen to them and not ask for them to be taken to the lunatic asylum. I agree. Completely agree. And yeah, there is a difference between patriotism and nationalism. I'm sorry, the sun is coming through. It's reflecting off of something, a window of a house that's down the road, and it's reflecting back into my study. Hi, Stephen. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining. So yeah, these comments that I got were absolutely despicable. Absolutely despicable. If you want to, you can go and read them. I'll pop the link to this video into the description box below the live stream. Blah, patriotism is wanting your country to be the best it can be. They're not patriots, they're flat earthers. I was actually going to say, and it was something I was thinking of earlier today. Remember last year before Labour won and got into power, and Sunak said he wanted to make national service a thing, and that everybody should, all the blokes should go and join the army for a certain amount of time. Now, in South Africa, they did actually do that back in the day. It was a thing. And every Friday, we used to have training on the school field, marching, the girls as well, because we were at war. We were at war with Angola and Mozambique, and, a lot of the blokes used to go up to the border. And a lot of my friends had seen, their mates being taken from the earth. And my brother-in-law was actually made a lieutenant, and he's a Londoner. He can speak better Afrikaans than I can. Scott, I truly believe all this far-right noise is its death throes before it becomes an irrelevance. However, the pain they are causing on that journey is tragic. It certainly is. It certainly is. Independence will be our big win. Get well away from crappy Westminster rule. I'll dance the souls out my shoes the day we get independence, and you will. I hope you do. I might just move up to Scotland before you do. Guys, if you can, click the like button. And I see some of you have, that's not refreshed itself, that screen. If you can, click the like button, share it as well on your other socials if you want to. And I know you're all subscribed, so thank you very much for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. So the article that Phil put up is from The Guardian. And it's dated the 26th of July. And I've been looking for this specific article. I'd found other articles, but not this specific one. 2 in 5 arrested for last summer's UK riots had been reported for domestic abuse. Police data indicates overlaps between public violent disorder and domestic violence and abuse. And there will be, because those men who go out there to specifically have a fight, they do. The testosterone is raised, and it's really funny because testosterone in men causes hair loss. And when you look at those men, a lot of them are bald. And I'm not saying that's every one of them, but there are just these links that you can see, and with high testosterone comes a lot of anger. Bodybuilders, those that take steroids, have a high testosterone level and become incredibly, incredibly angry. Latest thing now are zebra crossings painted with red crosses for George cross flags. Yeah, I've seen those as well. And those blokes that were arrested for painting red crosses onto the wall of those flats that were above shops. And part of the article, part of the video that I did was actually about an article in the Manchester Evening News, which is a newspaper that I see quite a lot of. I don't know why. Obviously, it's something that I've looked at before, but there were guys putting up that this was the whole premise of the video, besides the fact that there were those that were protesting at the asylum hotels that were and probably had previous for DV, SA, SV and GRAPE. But these lads were up a ladder, putting a flag onto a pole, and they harassed a young lass saying, look at her, attributes. And they're there saying, protect our women and girls. And yet they are harassing their women and girls. And then they went on to harass a family that was behind her. She actually ended up walking a completely different way because obviously she was afraid. And all women can tell you a story that they've had like that. And if they haven't had a story like that, if they haven't had something like that happen to them, they are incredibly lucky, and they probably live a very privileged life. Which you are more than welcome. Everyone is. We'll get the kettle on with water that tastes perfect from the tap. Another of our benefits. Yeah, I do love Scotland, peeps. I do. And if I do ever get a van and become a van lifer, I will definitely pop up to Scotland. Joe, I'm glad in my culture a man that harasses or strikes a woman is considered a weak man. Well, they should be. But all of these comments that kept coming up on this video were from men who were very angry with me because I was pointing out the problems, and they were probably trying to justify the issues that they had, already committed. So they possibly already committed those crimes, and now they are pointing fingers at asylum seekers because it justifies what they've done. So it's this whole justification around them saying, well, I can go home and slap the wife around or slap the kids, but these guys here, they're not allowed to do that. Now, I can't talk about the court case because obviously it's still ongoing. And I was also asked a question about the, I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, the young lass in Scotland who had the axe and a knife and was brandishing it around. And I don't know the full story, so I'm not going to comment on that because, again, it's probably under investigation. So I don't know the full story. We were seeing a video from one perspective, so... Scotland is the most beautiful country. It definitely is, especially the Highlands. Blah, blah. Like I said, it's just the tiny dick flat earther brigade pretending like they are relevant. Yeah. And they like to pick on people like me who are different, who just really don't care. I've had to put up with it all my life. I've been a goth since the age of 14. So I've had black hair, pink hair, blonde hair, you name it, but I've always dressed weird, and I don't care. I don't care anymore. Just, call me whatever. And the funny thing is they say, oh, but you're going to die alone, you're a crazy cat lady. I'd rather die alone than be with a man who is an abuser. Sorry, I just need to have a sip of water. And then there was another video that I saw. It was on TikTok. I was watching it last night, and it was this white couple, and it was being filmed in a park, and the young couple that they were harassing, I think the lady recording was Chinese, and I'm not sure what the man was, but I think they had kids as well. And this woman, she was vile. She was absolutely vile. And she was telling them, you must go back home, you don't belong here, and so on and so on. And the husband, and this was the boomer generation, and I'm sorry, I know it's not all boomers, but these were the boomer generation, and the husband was going, did you get here in a rubber? Did you get here in a rubber? Like that. Anyway, so this woman was being absolutely vile and disgusting, and the one thing that she said which really, really, really upset me was the woman that she was berating was a care worker. And she said to her, you're a care worker. She went right up into her face, and she kept pushing her as well. You could see that she was pushing her. And she said, that you're a care worker, you're a slave. People in this country don't want to do those jobs. That's why you do them. And I just thought to myself, I wonder who's going to look after you when you need your bum wiped. That's... How can people be so disgusting? And she ended up falling over, and I'm pretty sure that she'll accuse the other lady of pushing her, but she didn't. She may have had a few drinks, I don't know, but that is no excuse to talk to somebody like that. It was absolutely disgusting. So have a look on TikTok. I cannot remember the name of the video or who the channel was that it belonged to. And I unfortunately do not have the ability to share these videos because I'd love to share them with you. This is the horrible evil that is being brought out into society because of the stirring that Froggage and Tice and Tommy and all of them are doing. And They're just like on that bandwagon. I didn't go back to it, did I? Sorry, I'm doing the weave. So Sunak last year wanted British blokes to join the army. He was thinking about doing a national service, and there were so many guys saying, I'm not doing it, I'm not fighting for this country, it's not worth it. I wonder how many of those so-called patriots would go and join the army. Be interesting to do a survey, wouldn't it? Let's have a look. Scott, Northwest Coast for you. It's 99% perfection. The midges stop it being 100%. Yeah, Northwest. That I've never been up to the Northwest. I've never been as far as Aberdeen. I would like to go up to Aberdeen. Joe, this is why an English woman married with a friend of mine moved to Portugal with that friend that is Portuguese after Brexit. They are both blonde, blue-eyed, and her extended family told her she was sick of it. Oh, she was lucky she had married a good one. Yeah. There are good ones out there. We women know that. We do. Unfortunately, most of them are already taken. Pete, try being a biker in the 70s. Wow, second-class citizens, ads in shops, cafe, bar windows, no bikers your type, not welcome, etc., etc., rough times. Yeah, I actually, one of the little cafes that I drive past on my way to the forest there were a whole load of bikers out there today having coffee. I love bikes. I was a biker. Stephen, that's a situation I would get involved in. I couldn't watch or walk by anyone abusing somebody. Yeah, me either. I would have ended up being involved and possibly being on the other side of bars. Billy, I'd love Skye. I probably would. I've always wanted to go to Orkney as well. Skye, you've made me think of the Skyboat song. I'm sure that Pete knows and Stephen know that song. I love that song. It's absolutely beautiful. And I know it's about Bonnie Prince Charlie, but it's a lovely song. So just coming briefly back to this article, 2 out of every 5 people arrested after participating in last summer's riots had been previously reported to the police for domestic abuse, The Guardian can disclose. Police data released under Freedom of Information laws show that 41% of 899 people arrested for taking part in the violent disorder last July and August had been reported for crimes associated with intimate partner violence. And would there be any difference with the ones that are currently, doing all of this? Probably not. Because, as I say, those type of people are generally the type who will go to the pub and drink Stella, wife beater, go home and beat the wife. I've worked in pubs. I've seen it. I've seen what men get like. So yeah, it's terrifying what's going on at the moment. It really is. Sorry, I haven't gotten through to half of the stuff that I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to do videos on this through the week. So I'm back to doing videos this week. I am only away again at the equinox, the 21st of September. They wouldn't fight, but would use other people's sacrifice as an excuse to spout their racist dogma. Absolutely. Scott stayed a month on Ike in the early 80s. Wish I could again. I hope I pronounced that right. Stephen, you were abused for years just for being gay, but I grew up with 4 brothers and fought hard all my childhood. I'm a chilled out adult now, honestly. Yeah. Pete, try trans in the next 2 weeks. EHRC about to overreach. Sky's magical. The UK seems to be regressing, and that is sad, at least to me. It is very sad to me as well, because when I lived in South Africa, I was so patriotic towards England. All the English crowd stuck together at school, and we listened to English music, and we all went out together, to clubs and that sort of thing. And we were all so proud of being English. And they used to call the men, the English men, sout peeler, which is basically means salt penis, because the Englishman would have 1 foot in South Africa, 1 foot in England, and the penis in the sea. So we have idiots here too, but they're shunned to the sideways. I wish that was, you know, the availability of Coke is another driver. Definitely, Billy, definitely. And boredom. There's very little sport that goes on at this time of year. There's no footy, is there? There's no, you know, we had the women's rugby, but of course they don't like the women's rugby and they don't like the women's football because they're men. Meanwhile, I think that, you know, those women would run rings around those guys complaining about the fact that women can't play football. So there is this, it's terrifying what's going on at the moment. And I think that, you know, you've got to do what feels right for you. If you feel like calling it out, call it out, but put your own safety first, because you don't know if that person knows where you live, or if you have to walk alone. Are they going to jump you? You know, I've lived in some rough areas in the UK, and I've seen stuff that I wouldn't want other people to see, and it terrifies me that these kind of men stir this up. And yes, there are women that get involved as well. Oh my goodness, did you see? I actually saw the footage, and Max did a video on it. That woman, it was on Channel 4. She was being interviewed by a reporter on Channel 4 in Wakefield, and she had a cardboard cutout of Farage in her porch. Why? Why? Imagine every day. What is that? A sycophant. You know, when I was a kid, I would have had, I had posters all over my bedroom of Adamant. And then I had posters all over my bedroom of Metallica and Nirvana and Guns N' Roses. And, you know, it's just, why would you have a cardboard cutout of Farage in your house? Very sad. Sorry, I'm missing loads of comments here, guys. Blah, the football thing is definitely projection. The pork lads are just jealous the lionesses have bigger balls than them. Absolutely. Validate, great to throw darts at. That's what I would do, definitely. I don't have any darts, but I'd definitely go and buy some. Definitely go and buy some. But yeah, if you are out there and you come across any of this kind of stuff, try and avoid it, guys. It's just not worth getting into that. You know, when I was running today, a lot of people run on Sundays. Now, I don't normally do my long run on Sundays. I normally do it during the week because I prefer when there's nobody else around. But every single person that I saw today was nice and friendly and didn't seem to have that mindset around them. But yeah, try and keep away from it. Try and, you know, hopefully it will die down. The kids go back to school this week. So hopefully it will die down as we move towards winter. But with Tice and Farage constantly spouting this crap on social media, and the media just lets them. And, you know, Tice said today in the interview that he had with Trevor Phillips that they want to give a 6-month notice to the ECHR that they're going to step out of it, and then they'll remove the ECHR, and then there'll be a while without any human rights, and then they'll put in a Bill of Human Rights. Really? I don't think that many people understand what the ECHR is and the protections that we have from it. There was a brilliant video I watched yesterday. It's an hour long. I popped it into my politics playlist. So go and have a look there. It's an hour long. It's Big Jimmy, I think his name is. And he actually went through the whole story of asylum seekers and how, you know, the whole thing works. And it was absolutely brilliant. I did actually want to cover some of that in today's live stream, but yeah, so I'll be doing videos. I shall also be doing a live stream on Tuesday evening and on Thursday evening. I might do more, it depends, because of course Thorn has now got been diagnosed with diabetes. Luckily the insurance has covered the costs, which I knew it would, because they've got they're with Petplan, so you know, all of them cost me a fortune. So that's covered his injections. I'm getting used to the injections. He's getting used to the injections. He absolutely hates them. I hate giving them, but I now know how to give an injection. And he hates the fact that he can't eat all the time. And the girls are having to, I've got 4 female cats, and they're having to get used to it as well, because I didn't think that he could jump up onto the side, but he can. I'd left their food up on the side for them and taken his food away, and I turned around and there he is up on the side. I'd moved all the furniture so he couldn't climb up onto chairs, and there he was on the side. I'm like, okay, so they're having to have their food put away now. Also, I have bought a catio for when I go camping, to take Thorn with me so that I can give him his injections. All sorts of logistics around that, with the catio, with the cage to take him in, with a sling and a harness. And then I'm looking at a little fridge. You can get these little fridges, but they're quite expensive. So I've got the 2 places that I go to, the organisers have fridges in their vans, so I will be able to put his insulin into that, but it's getting the insulin back from those places. Oh, you know something, I'm just reading these comments, and you're all so lovely to each other. It's absolutely beautiful, really is. Stephen, I also took a break from being online. I was watching Graham, and I was watching Regan Elite, and I was watching, you know, Phil and Max and Tans. I think she's going live a bit later, so watch out for that. I love Tans, absolutely love her. So yeah, you know, I've been watching, but I've not really been commenting, and now I'm getting up to the place where I'm going to be studying again soon, so it's going to be, you know, sort of doing my recordings, doing the lives and studying. Yeah, because I don't know what it hasn't been put up yet on the website as to when our assignments are due in, but this is the serious stuff now. Your cat does whatever she wants to you. She's your little girl. I have a little girl who sleeps on my head. She meows at me. Well, she squeaks, really. Hang on, I missed that one. Sorry, this doesn't want to. Lana, you cannot wait to vote them out. Yeah, in New Zealand, do you have a right-wing government? Yeah, like Joe says, do what you need to do for your sanity. It's important. You've got to look after yourself, because nobody else is going to. Scott, no chance to take a breath between the BS headlines coming so fast. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bless little Thorn, thank you. He was not little. He was like 8 kilos. Now he's only 3 kilos. He might be going back to the vet this week because he was a bit lethargic today. So I'll see how he is tomorrow. So he can't do her after remarks about Nicola Sturgeon and Janie Godley. I'm not sure what that is about, Stephen. Oh, is that Tans? Okay, is that Tans? Tana's guest, so no Sunday service. Okay, okay. You're her pet. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the feeder. I'm the feeder and the lap. Cuddles for Thorn, always cuddle for Thorn. Validate, you've got hamster and guinea pigs. Oh. So yeah, stay sane out there, guys. Try and switch off if you need to, switch off and try to avoid all the flag shagging and the right wing, the nationalism, because it's not patriotism. It isn't. So a man telling me that I shouldn't support asylum seekers and that I should leave the country when I'm English. It is terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And it's sort of as if they've Tice was saying in the interview that I saw that people can now say what they want. They've been wanting to say these things for a long time and now they can say it. Well, can they? Is it acceptable? I lived in one of the most racist countries in the world for a very long time, and I know what racism is. I've seen it. And this guy, same guy that said that to me, said, so you want to be effed by a asylum seeker? He didn't call him that. He called him something else. And or raped by an asylum seeker. I'm like, I've been raped twice, both times by white British men. In fact, every single abuse that I have suffered at the hands of men have been white. Scott, I hate progressives hitting on each other, so I leave it for a bit before going back in. Yeah, sanity is in short supply right now, but they will not break you. Good. Verbal abuse is never acceptable. I know, but the thing is, I actually laugh at some of their comments. I do. I find it hilarious because it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me at all. I'm at a place in my life where I love who I am, where I am incredibly happy with my life. I have bipolar disorder, I have borderline personality disorder, I have high anxiety, and I have very, very bad depression. But you know what? It doesn't bother me. They can say what they like. But here, in my head, I know, and I'm not trying to be, but I know I'm better than them. Yeah, Stephen, 3 of your close female friends. Yeah, and one of mine was my husband. And it normally is a husband or a partner or somebody close to you. It normally is. Scott, I don't like what I am particularly, but I'm okay with it. Joe, I'm a bit indifferent to crazy people, but ignorance and a lack of civility annoys me. But, well, maybe it's the German in me. I just ignore it. When I was in Germany, I went to Köln and oh goodness, where did I go? I can't think of the name. It's just gone. Menopause brain. Where they have the beer festival. I know it begins with an M, and it's just not. Scott, politeness is underrated. It is. It really is. When I was running today, every single runner or cyclist was like, hello, 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 hello. Everybody. Absolutely everybody. There is no need to be nasty to people. Munich. That's it. Munich came to me. To quote a famous book, they have forgotten the face of their father. What book is that from? Because I've read that book. Munchen, yes, Munchen. Manners cost nothing, but means everything. It does. It does. I'm one of those people that if I see, when you're going around a roundabout and it's got those crossings, and I see somebody waiting to cross, I stop. It annoys the drivers behind me, but I don't care. I'm not in a rush. Let that person cross the road. Like today, I was running, and the path, one of the paths that I was running down was quite narrow, and there was a cyclist coming towards me, and he was going full pelt. So I just stopped and moved over to the side, and he was like, thank you so much, thank you. You know, he's got a bike. Yes, The Dark Tower, that's it. I knew I'd read it. Got the whole blooming series over here on my bookshelf. Absolutely brilliant. Have you seen the advertisement for The Long Walk? They finally made The Long Walk into a movie, and that is my favourite Stephen King story. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, guys, it is 7:15. I need to go and have my dinner because I haven't eaten yet. I had a little yogurt before I came on the live stream just to keep my tummy happy. Validate, I'm a nurse and have worked for the NHS for 38 years. Some people have pleasure in being rude. Yeah, they do. They do. And thank you. Thank you for all you do. Validate. Thank you. It is a very difficult job. When my dad was in hospital, he was in for quite a while. He had heart failure, kidney failure, all sorts of things. This was before they found he had liver cancer. And I used to go in, and I had bright pink hair at the time, and he would be laying in bed and he'd go, there's my pink witch, as I walked in, and he'd been telling all of the nurses about me and that I read cards and all sorts. So all of the nurses were coming over and saying, oh, you read cards, you read cards. It was really cute though. They were really, really lovely. And then when COVID hit, I actually did a special on my readings at the time, free readings for all NHS staff. And I had quite a lot from, because that was in Liverpool, from the Ormskirk and Southport Hospital. Quite a lot of them contact me for a free reading. My ex-partner worked for the NHS at the time. So yeah, I know how difficult it is. I just, yeah. Whenever I go to my doctors or go into the hospital, I'm as polite as I can be. I chat to the people, I ask them questions. You know, it takes nothing to be nice to a person. It really doesn't. And then if you're nice to the person, they're nice to you, and it just makes everything so much better. Maybe too many Vincent Price movies when you were a kid. Well, I was actually talking, I think you missed it earlier on. I was talking about horror movies that I watched. I watched pretty much a lot of horrors. I watch horror every day. And then I also watch crime stuff true crime stuff on YouTube, a few channels that I watch, and also some horror and paranormal channels as well on YouTube. Very into that stuff. Crikey, you need a coffee. Yes, go get a coffee. Self-regulation is out the window. Consider me trans a blessing to generate a relocation project. Farage will strip you on every level. We're going to try and stop that. We are going to try and stop that. Being nice to someone can be their only contact with that particular moment. Exactly. Exactly. Right, guys, I'm going to go. Sorry I didn't get through half of the stuff that I wanted to talk about. But I will do some videos in the week. So all the stuff that I have mentioned, I will do videos on. Plus, I've got so much other stuff to do. And remember, have fun with flags. Stay blessed, everybody. Night, night.